the 10-planet Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Kelvin Gastelum, number 4 ranked middleweight contender in the world, fighting for the Middleweight Championship in Australia. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for bringing the Schmo through your workout, through fight camp, baby.
Gotta make sure KG is ready for camp. Schmo's here. He wants to be the next middleweight champion. Gotta make sure he gets it. He's gotta work for it.
That's right. We're in the middle of camp. We just started camp, so we're not where we want to be, but we're getting there.
That's why you brought the Schmo here, though.
That's why I brought the Schmo, so he can make me look good today.
Gonna train hard. Let's go.
Now, The Ultimate Fighter, you were just on that. You won the show, season 17.
That's right. I won the show. The show that just aired was season 28, where I had the privilege to coach young women and young men to a UFC contract.
Up against your opponent, the middleweight champion, Robert Whitaker. What was it like coaching against the guy that you're going to be getting in the octagon against?
It's a little awkward, man. You know, I mean, he's actually a respectful guy. I'm a pretty laid-back guy myself, but there's tension there, and you feel it. We just try to not cross our paths too much more than we have to, and we just kind of do our jobs.
Now, you're from Yuma, Arizona. How did you get into the fight game?
Well, I wrestled for a long time since I was a kid, and honestly, it was just kind of a natural transition. I had a wrestling coach who invited me over to an MMA gym and got punched, and I liked it, and kept coming back, you know. MMA was just something I did on the side. Wrestling was my real passion for a long, long time, until I decided, you know, I went to college, I wrestled, I did that. I stopped going to college, I dropped out, I started fighting professionally, and so far it's worked out okay for me.
Yeah, we see a lot of guys successful with those wrestling backgrounds, like a TJ Dillashaw, Khabib Nurmagomedov. That wrestling background's very helpful. Now, we just had a great UFC event over in Canada. What do you think of the performance of Max Holloway beating Brian Ortega?
That was a great fight. I mean, honestly, it wasn't surprising because we know just how good Max Holloway is. You know, obviously we thought, you know, Brian is a special talent. He just needs a little bit more experience, but he'll get back up there. We just think, you know, Max is on a roll right now. He's on fire.
It's interesting because
it was a good fight.
It was a great fight. What's interesting is boss man Dana White wants him to go up to 155, and you're someone who came into the UFC at welterweight and got moved up there to the middleweight. You know, talk to us a little bit about that weight cutting struggle and why it's better for you to be a middleweight than a welterweight, and why it could work out for someone like Max Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Dana has his reasons for saying those things. We don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. He could be saying it because he might know something we don't with Max, and so he's just looking out for his best interest, I think, in my opinion. And I think, honestly, I agree with Dana. There could be bigger, better things with him at 155. There's Tony Ferguson fight. There's the Khabib fight. Like, this could solidify him as a GOAT.
That's right. That's right. There's Conor McGregor up there at the other weight class.
There you go.
And maybe there's talk of GSP, you know, dropping down to 155.
That's right, which is crazy, but I think he can do it. If he says he can do it, I think he can do it. But I just think the potential fights with Tony and Max, I mean, that would just be insane.
Here at MMT Fitness with this guy right here, you're going to enemy's opponent to his territory in Australia to fight February 9th. Would be February 10th over there in Australia, though, for that middleweight championship belt. On that fight card, you have two middleweights. You got Anderson Silva, the legend, the Spider, up against Stylebender, Israel Donisa. And they say the winner of that fight could arguably fight you over that championship belt if it's not you and Robert retains.
Right. You know, it is what it is. UFC does whatever they think is right, and if they think that's the next possible title fight, then so be it.
Why are you the best middleweight on the planet?
I just think stylistically I match up really well with Rob. I feel I have just as good boxing skills as he does, and maybe even better wrestling. You know, obviously I came from a wrestling background. I don't use it in my fights, but it's there. I have my 10 planet jiu-jitsu black belt as well. I just don't use any of it. I like to stand up and box, so I just think it's going to be a good fight. We're going to go in there. We're going to play into each other's styles, which is mainly a boxing style, so it'll be a good, fun fight for the fans.
And you're predicting a finish?
I am. You know, I'm pretty confident in my boxing. First round knockout.
First round knockout. Kelvin Gastelum, appreciate your time bringing the Schmo into camp. This guy looks ready.
I'll be ready.